Hello, and welcome to this tutorial on the New York Times Historical Database. This database gives users access to digitized articles from the New York Times newspaper from the year 1851 through the year 2020. In this tutorial, we're going to explore how to access the New York Times Historical Database from the Shapiro Library homepage, how to conduct searches using relevant keywords and filters, and how to brainstorm search terms for primary source databases. You can access the New York Times Historical Database from the Quick Links menu in the bottom left corner of the Shapiro Library homepage. Select A to Z Database List. This will take you to an alphabetized list of databases. I will scroll to the End Databases, then select New York Times Historical Database. When you type keywords into the search bar at the top of the database's homepage, the database will search through all of the digitized newspapers and generate a list of results that include those words. For example, if I am looking for articles on the American women's suffrage movement when women campaigned for the right to vote, I can type women's suffrage in the search bar in the center of the page. My search generates a lot of results, some of them from the 1980s and 1970s. In the United States, women received the right to vote in 1920. I can use the date filter on the left-hand side of the page to set a date range filter for 1910 to 1920, which will limit my search to articles published in the years leading up to women's right to vote in the US. To set a date range, you can either select Enter a Date Range to do so manually, or slide the gray toggles on the ends of the decades bar chart on the far left side of the page until you have enclosed your desired range. When I update my search for the 1910 to 1920 date range, I receive fewer and more relevant results, articles published about the American women's suffrage movement during the time in which it occurred. I can click on any of these articles to access a scan of the original newspaper article, which I can then download by selecting Download PDF from the top right corner of the page. When working with primary sources or first-hand accounts of events, it's important to keep in mind that terminology used today might not be the same as the terminology used when a historical event occurred. In the case of a historical event like World War I, using World War I as a search term would not yield the best results, because reporters of that era would not have used that phrasing before World War II. To find primary source articles about historic events, it's best to do background research using an encyclopedic resource. You'll want to look for key terms, people, places, and events. These could be important battles, treaties, politicians, or activists involved in a particular event. If you have any questions about library resources, feel free to reach out to our library team via chat on the Shapiro Library homepage or by email at ask@snhu.libanswers.com. Thanks for watching this video, and good luck with your research.